Well, happy birthday to us, not because it's our actual birthday, but because there's gonna be a lot of cake in this video. Why? Well, because the New York City Police Department Special Victims Unit detective played a starring role in a rap video as a stripper.
Now you have my attention.
And this detective really got into character because she's wearing the right uniform for the job, if you get what I'm saying. A bikini top and a thong. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm surprised because the internet has a sickness for this detective's thickness. Back to you, Donut. But before we get into how this detective decided to
shake your money maker.
First, a word from this video's sponsor. Whether it's somebody hacking into that company's network, other companies buying it and selling it, or even governments getting their sticky little fingers involved, you need to protect your personal identification. And that's where this video's sponsor comes in, Aura. Aura keeps you safe online. It identifies data brokers that are selling my information online, and it stops it. So every time one pops up, it gets shut down like that. Stop seeing yourself and all your personal information being sold on all these different websites. Aura also constantly monitors the dark web and alerts you if they find any of your personal information exposed. That means even the second family that you secretly have in another state won't be able to find you. And they're gonna let you know fast if somebody tries to use that information to log into whatever bank account that you have. Plus, Aura gives me $5 million in identity theft insurance just in case. And you can go to my link below, aura.com/angrycops, and try Aura out for free for 14 days. And that'll be more than enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data has been exposed. Before we get to the meat of the story, first let's learn a little bit about this detective. Meet Detective Mercado. Came onto the job in 2018, and for the past 3 years has been a detective in NYPD's Special Victims Unit. Hey, I'm an SVU detective, but I don't look nearly as good in a thong, or do I? And like many NYPD officers, detectives, lieutenants, supervisors, etc., Detective Mercado has a second job, a second front, some of us call it, because living in NYC ain't cheap, buddy. Hell, back in the day, the first thing that they would do after giving you your badge for NYPD's, tell you where the line was for food stamps. And having a side gig is no big deal. Hell, Eddie Money, I don't know if you know who the singer Eddie Money is. He was an NYPD cop while trying to kickstart his music career. How Steve Buscemi was a fireman while he was trying to kickstart his acting career. And if we fast forward from then to modern day, there's a ton of NYPD cops and firemen who use social media as their secondary gig. Check like no donuts here. Studly, handsome, shredded young man. Washboard abs and strong chin, full head of hair. I'm so jealous. But let's dig a little bit deeper into Detective Mercado's second front. The music video that Detective Mercado's dancing in is Doing That by an artist named Esquire. And I don't know if I sound as white as I think I sound when I say doing that, or my New York accent's kicking in, even though I'm from Western New York. Doing that. Doing that. Doing that. No, it's with an N. Doing that. What are you doing? How you doing? You doing that? You doing that? I like the way you're doing that. And to be quite honest with you, it's really not that bad of a song. The music video already had a little over 1 million views when everybody caught wind of this. And the lyrics to it really aren't that bad. It's just, hey, I like your fat ass. Sometimes you drop that on me. And I like the way you're doing that. There's no grotesque description of sex or any sexual acts that are going on there. It's pretty mild. It's a G-rated version of, you got a fat ass and I really like it. Have a good day. So the controversy, if you want to call it that, is everybody arguing whether or not this is conduct unbecoming of a police officer. That's what all the hubbub's about. You got people in one group saying, hey, you can't be doing that as a detective or a police officer, let alone a detective in the Special Victims Unit, which usually deals with sex offenses and sexual abuse and trafficking, which often correlates with, strip clubs and the sex industry. And there's also a group of other people that say she's not really a stripper, she's an actor in a music video portraying herself as a stripper, but it's acting, and it was all off the job. There's no NYPD badge, there's no statement about her being an NYPD cop, it's just her there.
Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
We're gonna start telling people what they can and can't do outside of work? So let me play devil's advocate here so that we can understand both sides of the argument. and I'll fill you in on where I fall. Let's kick it off with the people that are a little upset with the conduct on becoming a police officer here, that say that this gives NYPD a bad look. Let's be real about it. Let's take off the kid gloves and talk like men or women. There's a professional standard that you need in order to uphold when you're trying to protect and serve people in your community. And obviously there are lines that you can cross that once you cross them, the community's gonna look at you differently, and that can prevent you from being effective at your job. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you did OnlyFans content and were sucking in on screen on the internets, and then you were also a cop. Your ability to properly police and assist people in the community could be affected. How? How could they be affected? Are you serious? Let's just say that you've got a bunch of teenagers that are in a parking lot or a mall and they're doing something, you tell them to leave. All they have to do is show you sucking, getting railed, or giving it to some granny on the internet saying, "Isn't this you?" And you're a laughing stock. Nobody's gonna listen to the guy or girl that gets or is fucking on camera when they're telling them, "Hey, you need to clean up your life, otherwise you're gonna go to jail and really make some big mistakes," says the person with 15 million views of jizz on their chin. You think the Muslim Community Center is really gonna want Linda Lovelace coming in there with her face glistening? You think that a victim of sexual assault or sexual abuse is gonna look a little differently at a special victims unit, detective, or even the patrol officer that's coming to talk to them and being like, "I was trafficked, I was sexually abused, and you're promoting the that like hurt me?" What? Yeah, that could be a bad day. Or if you go even further, it's gonna be hard for a cop to arrest people that are doing heroin when he himself is smoking heroin. Looking at you, LA. Or meth, I think it was meth. So let's not be naive and think that what we do outside of the job of being a police officer or civil servant can in no way negatively affect how the public perceives you and how you're able to do your job. Trust me, I know!
Angry Cops has a history of misconduct allegations.
You make fun of people on the internet. Do you really think you can do a job like, protecting and serving?
Yeah? If Tulsi Gabbard can be the head of our intelligence services, she can still run a reserve drill sergeant unit. So what? And she's on TV far more than I am. How about whenever I'm off the job, you politely f off and treat me like everybody else? Yeah. Let's go there. Now the NYPD officer, no donuts here, the Instagram account, physical fitness guy, right? You think there's a whole bunch of people that are in the physical fitness world, and like, what's the difference between a woman shaking her ass on stage in a music video, acting, and you and the girls going out to the beach and shaking your ass and posting it on your own personal Instagram? Now I know being a stripper and just having a good time with your friends out on the beach are two different things, but it's almost the same end game here, right? You got somebody shaking their ass in a bathing suit on a stage. You got somebody shaking their ass in a bathing suit on the beach. Both of them get uploaded to the internet. One's emulating sex intentionally because stripper, duh, we're not naive. But if you were to just take out the environment, and even then, she's not a real stripper, it's a music video. It's acting. She looks and is acting like a stripper because that's what the music video is asking her to do. And how far is this gonna go? How many hobbies can a job say, "Hey, we don't want you to do when you're off duty and we have no control over you"? How much control over you should you give a job? So much control that what you do when you're not working at that job, they can still fire you for? And now let's be real here. Neutral ground. How is it going to look in the public eye if NYPD says, "Hey, you were acting like a stripper. You weren't really one, but you acted like one. That's bad and we don't like that." Well, what about people who are actually strippers in your community that you police? Are they bad people now? Are you supposed to shun them for their totally legal job? How is that gonna assist you in any sort of actual trafficking or sexual abuse, which does happen around strip clubs? Are they gonna feel comfortable going to NYPD officers now knowing that NYPD heads are like, strippers aren't real people and they're inappropriate? Get this lady out of here for just pretending to be like one. Now here's my 2 cents about the whole thing. Yeah, portraying yourself as a stripper is not known to be the most honest and cleanly job. You think Cardi B is something you want to emulate? She bragged about drugging men and stealing money from them while stripping. And was like, oh, all of us do that all the time. You see how emulating that lifestyle could be looked at poorly to your law enforcement world? I think we can all understand that. Isn't the number one rule for dads, good dads, to keep your daughter off the pole?
My only job in life is to keep her off the pole.
As long as she stays off the pole. As long as she stays off the pole, I've done my job. So let's not pretend that being a stripper is just this awesome job that has no negative repercussions or stereotypes or anything that comes with it. But at the same time, she's not really a stripper. How involved are jobs gonna get in somebody's off-duty life? If it's not illegal and you're consenting adults, who gives a shit what you do for a secondary job? And even if, like most departments, and NYPD does this too, she filled out a form that says, hey, I'm requesting that I have a second place of employment because I don't make enough money here, or I wanna make more money and make my life better because of all the taxes that New York City has. Congestion tax. Kathy Hochul's a retard. She's not gonna put, I'm gonna be a pretend stripper. She's gonna say, I'm gonna be an actress in music videos, or I'm gonna be an actress for this production company. So I say, take that thing. And hey, detective, if you ever get tired of getting harassed by the job, I'm sure that there are a dozen B-list basketball players that are more than willing to fucking pick you up and take you away from all this and put you up in a mansion.
Somewhere in Wisconsin.
And if you do get in trouble, you've got one hell of a Me Too movement, workplace harassment suit going on here just because you're a woman walking around being a model or actress. This is such a nothing burger. I pray NYPD does something so stupid as to go after you for making money on the side because you're thick and you got fake eyelashes and your lips done and you want to show them off. Like,
Mrs. Officer.
can we all just grow up? Either way, probably don't want to pretend to be a stripper shaking your ass anymore in the next production. Okay, detective? Maybe we don't need this type of attention. Maybe our acting career goes in a different direction. Because I wouldn't be surprised if you got a little bit more flack from this. And by the way, getting flack from this isn't a reason to start some sort of harassment campaign. If you want to shake your ass in the middle of the dance floor in your thong in a music video, don't be so dumb to think that you're not gonna get a little bit of blowback. All right, Mrs. Officer?
She got me thinking I could date a cop.
Best way to support the channel is get yourself a shirt. Check out these shirts that I have. Oh my God, look at them. They're amazing. You can wear them and people will like you more for them. Cheapest way to support the channel is to leave a comment. What do you think, right? Do you think that, hey, it's off duty, who cares? Or are you like, don't be stupid, lady. You know exactly how this looks. This looks dumb. And you're making the job look less classy. It's already difficult to make it look classy. All right. See you next time, weirdos. Delectable detective? That sounds creepy. Roll with it. No, maybe not. I don't know.